to welcome you out to this evening, Tuesday night, live webinar opportunity webinar that we'll be doing here tonight. I'd like to thank you guys for taking the time tonight to jump onto this webinar. I see some folks that are familiar, and I see some other folks that I haven't seen before. So welcome to tonight's webinar for LifeVantage. Whether you're a distributor or whether you're a guest, just getting this information for the first time, thank you for being here. This is a great opportunity for you to get some information. If you're a distributor, learn a little bit more about what we do, how we do it, and seeing the information again. If you are new to this information, this is a chance for you to validate some things. I will tell you this is some information you're about to get tonight. It's factual information. It's everything that we speak about and talk about can be validated, which makes this discussion a very fun discussion. So with that being said, I want to set some expectations here tonight as we get going, and that is for you to decide what kind of category you find yourself in as you hear this information. Not a lot of people know about this company, LifeVantage. A lot of people don't know about ProTandem. It is still a secret, and you're going to be given an opportunity to decide whether or not you want to herald this message and take advantage of what you sit in front of. Perhaps this is not your cup of tea. Maybe this is something you're not interested in. You'll be able to mark this one off if it's not by going through this information here tonight and getting back to the person who invited you to jump on here. The second option, quite frankly, may be that you see the value of what we sit in front of and you are prepared to become a consumer of the product. I will tell you, I've went through this information, and for me, I've validated that what we sit in front of is real, and I was prepared and interested in sharing it with people that I cared about, and I've been building a business now with LifeVantage for almost 2 years. For those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Trent Lindstrom. I've been a part of LifeVantage, as I mentioned, for almost 2 years, a little over a year and a half. I used to be in law enforcement. I was a highway patrolman. And in that industry of being in law enforcement, we investigate, especially as a state trooper, we investigate a lot of car accidents. And through that process of investigating crashes, we only document the facts. We talk with the drivers, we talk with the witnesses, but we document the facts, what we've investigated. And with that, I connected quickly with this information because there's a lot of facts tied to it. There's also a lot of first in this type of an industry on what LifeVantage is doing. So you'll have the opportunity to see the facts of what we sit in front of. With that, I was quickly able to decide and confirm that this is something I want to align myself with. It is indeed a new technology. This addresses something that affects everybody. And I found this to be real, and I was prepared to build a business with it. I've been doing it now for long enough for me to build myself up a good income that supports my family. This is all I do full time. So again, thanks for jumping on the webinar. Let's get started on this. We're just a few minutes after 7 o'clock. I want to make sure that we are good to go and that you guys can hear me okay. There is a control module on your screen where you can engage with me, but I do not know how my audio is coming across. So if you would be so kind, maybe throw me just a hands raised. Click on that hand raised to let me know you can hear me loud and clear. Perfect. I see some hands going up. Thank you very much. All right. If there's ever a problem throughout this webinar tonight where you cannot hear me very well, throw your hands up or throw me a question. I'll be able to see that you're posing questions, and we'll make sure we get our audio dialed in correctly. So with this, I'm excited to share this information with you. If you are a guest on this webinar tonight, I am hopeful that you've already seen the ABC Primetime investigation that was done back in 2005. ABC Primetime got wind of this technology and quite frankly wanted to create some controversy. If you have not seen that, immediately following this presentation, go to your web browser and type in www.abcliveit.com. Type in abcliveit.com and watch the ABC Primetime so you'll have a preface to the, so you understand the information we're talking about here. I'm going to build off of that ABC Primetime because some amazing things transpired there. There was some things there that I want to build off of. So again, my hope is that you've already watched that. Okay, let's go into this information. We'll go into LifeVantage. What I'm going to do to help communicate this information is I'm going to use what's called a tear-off sheet. These are distributors that are involved in the business when they get their Vantage pack. That's what we call it in LifeVantage. When a distributor becomes a distributor, they receive a Vantage pack, and inside the Vantage pack they get what's called a tear-off sheet. This is a way for us to communicate information. Because the information that we have is science-based information, we do have a lot of science tied to it. We want to make sure that we communicate information appropriately and we get the basic information out. You do not need to be a scientist to be engaged in this business opportunity. So this is a simple way of how we communicate information. For those of you that are distributors, you'll probably recognize the tear-off sheet you're looking at is a little bit of an update. I have yet to update to the new one, and so I'm going to use the old one to expose the information. All right, first of all, oxidative stress. It's talked about in that ABC Primetime. John Quiones is the investigator for ABC Primetime, and he has some blood work done to see if Protandim really does address oxidative stress. First, I want to talk about what is oxidative stress. Does it really affect us inside of our body? So to do that, I am going to use this tear-off sheet to highlight oxidative stress so you can start to familiarize yourself with that term, oxidative stress. I've done that at the top of the screen. Oxidative stress is real. It affects every human being on this planet. In fact, it not only does it affect all human beings, but it affects mammals included. Oxidative stress comes from the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, and the food that we eat. The very essential elements to give our body fuel, life, and energy release a byproduct into our cell known as a free radical. These are toxins that create damage to our cell. They create damage to our DNA. I'm going to make a very powerful statement here. Listen to me very carefully. Oxidative stress is at the core root to disease and at the core root of the aging process. Two very powerful statements that I make. Oxidative stress is the core root to progressive disease and at the core root of aging. That's a very powerful statement. We're going to talk about how you can validate that. It is real. It affects every single person on this planet. But we've also found that when we're young and vibrant, as our body is growing up and maturing, because we have this oxidative stress, these free radicals, these toxins inside of our cell, our body recognizes that we have them. And as a result, the body produces its own survival genes. These are genes that are supposed to help reduce oxidative stress. And when we're young and vibrant, it does a pretty good job. And we see the effects of keeping oxidation low inside of our body when we're young. A child gets sick, they bounce back quicker than those that are older. They break a bone, they heal and recover quicker than we do when we get older. So we have found that when we're young and those survival genes are engaged, I put an arrow down simulating that oxidative stress is reduced or is a tolerable level. If something happens right around 20 to 30 years old, 20 to 30 years old, our body starts to deteriorate. And as it starts to deteriorate and break down, we found those survival genes inside of our cells of our body. They, too, also slow down. And as they slow down, we have this higher impact of oxidation. I show that on the left side of the sheet by showing that oxidative stress is on the increase as we start to get older and our body starts to break down. Now, this is something that affects every single person on this planet. In fact, that blood test that John Quiones took on the ABC Primetime, it was called a T-bar blood test. It's how you measure the amount of oxidation you have inside your body. There is a common denominator in every human being on this planet, in fact, mammals included, and that is as we get older chronologically in age, we have higher levels of oxidative stress, and that is because those survival genes are slowing down. Now, ironically, we've never had an efficient way to take care of it. We've never been able to really, truly address the amount of oxidative stress that we have. There's no pharmaceutical drug on the market to address oxidative stress, the core root to disease and aging. But all of a sudden, these things called antioxidants started to pop up about 20, 30 years ago. In fact, it wasn't a very popular word 20 to 30 years ago. But you look at the marketplace today, products that we consume, there's antioxidants listed all over the place in all variety of different products. These antioxidants are supposed to help reduce oxidative stress. These come from fruits and vegetables, different types of berries. Now they have super juices that are out on the marketplace today that are antioxidant super juices. They're designed to help reduce oxidative stress. I do not care where the berry you have in your juice comes from. I do not care what type of an orange you eat. It does not matter. Scientifically, this is not open to debate. This is documented fact. Antioxidants are a 1-to-1 ratio. I just highlighted that on the top of the sheet. As you consume an antioxidant, one antioxidant will fight off one free radical. And it's like a suicide bomber. It goes in there, it strikes it, and they're both eliminated. Now think about this for just a moment. You have trillions of cells that make up who you are. And inside those trillions of cells, you have millions and millions and millions of free radicals. Think about how many antioxidants on a ratio of 1-to-1 you would need to consume to efficiently reduce the amount of oxidation you have inside your body, especially as we start to get older in age. You simply cannot consume enough antioxidants to reduce the core root to aging and the core root to disease. Now, why is this important? Why do we highlight this aspect in this presentation? I highlight this simply because protandim is not a direct antioxidant. Protandim is not a direct antioxidant. Rather, what protandim is a master switch. As you take protandim, there is 5 ingredients. With those 5 natural ingredients at the right ratio combined together, there's a synergistic effect that occurs that helps reduce, that flips a switch off inside of our body. When that switch is turned on, it stimulates those survival genes that we were talking about just a few minutes ago. How efficient are those survival genes? I just circled the ratio of the efficiency of those survival genes. Your body has a very powerful way of taking care of itself if it's put in a position to do so. By flipping that switch off inside our DNA and stimulating those survival genes that we're slowing down the older we get, one survival gene in the cells of our body will eliminate 1 million free radicals, a completely different approach than taking into our body a direct antioxidant. So here's I pose a question. If this is true, would we like to address the core roots of aging and disease on a 1-to-1 ratio with antioxidants or a 1-to-1 million ratio with a master switch, flipping the switch on inside of our body and stimulating genes? And we know the answer to that. That is a no-brainer response. If this is true, we would much more use a more efficient way of doing it, which is the master switch stimulating the genes inside of our body. Antioxidants, the message that we take, are the thing of the past. Now, antioxidants in the forms of fruits and vegetables and different types of berries, they may have a nutritional value to you. But the idea of taking those antioxidants to reduce oxidative stress, they clearly are not efficient. And this is the message that we're taking to the world. Protandim is a very powerful master switch activator inside of our body. And the technology or the switch that it is turning on is called NRF2, NRF2. You can look on the right side of your sheet and you see that I've circled NRF2. This is the technology of protandim. We are taking to the marketplace a NRF2 activator and branding NRF2. Just like antioxidants was branded 20 years ago, we are branding this today. This is a new technology on how our body operates and efficiently stimulates survival genes. Now, if you want to see how powerful NRF2 is with the organs of our body, they've taken the technology out of the pill and they put it into a cream to address the biggest organ of our body, our skin. Your skin is exposed to a lot of damage, rosacea, eczema, psoriasis, melanoma, skin cancer. If you know anybody that has any of these issues with their skin and you want to see how NRF2 works, take True Science and put it onto your skin. You'll see a powerful thing that will occur, and usually occurs quicker than what protandim will be. Protandim, you may not know the difference in the first month of taking it. Some people do, but I challenge people, if you are going to take protandim, 3 to 6 months. 3 to 6 months. We know this. Studies have been done showing that protandim works the first 30 days. And in the first 30 days, it will reduce your oxidative stress inside your body on an average of 40%. And by the way, that is a very significant claim. That is a claim that has never been made in medical history before. We just happen to be able to validate that it actually works. Here's how we validate that. I just wrote in the center of the screen, PubMed.gov. It's the National Institute of Health, and they have the world's largest medical library. For convenience of this presentation, I've actually got PubMed.gov pulled up here on my screen. You look at the upper left-hand corner, it says the U.S. National Library of Medicine, National Institutes of Health. This is the most credible and largest medical library in the world today, where you can look at what's called peer-reviewed literature. This is how you see how research is being done. Doctors do not know everything, but they know where to get it. PubMed.gov is used a lot by the health professionals because they have the ability to research diseases, and they have the ability to stay on top of the new research that's going on. If you type in oxidative stress and hit enter, you can start to see how many studies are popping up, and this grows almost by the day. You see the top of the screen here, results 1 to 20 out of how many studies? Almost 108,000 studies. 108,000 studies on just oxidative stress. And you want to see the trend of where the medical industry is going today. Take a look at how many studies were being done in the medical journals 10 to 15 years ago. 10 to 15 years ago, there wasn't even 1,000 studies in the medical journal on oxidative stress. Already in a matter of just 10 to 15 years, we now have almost 108,000 studies. This is a very clear defining shift that you're seeing the medical industry researching. They are researching at a cellular level. With more technology available, we can go down to a cellular level and start to see the toxins and exchange that are occurring inside of our cells and how it's related to diseases. If you want to relate this to diseases, type in any disease you want. I put cancer in there because that seems to be a major deal. I call it the plague of our generation. Take a look at the studies that are popping up. Oxidative stress linking to cancer. This is showing over 11,000 studies that are correlating oxidative stress to cancer. Is this an issue? Yes. Is oxidative stress correlated to cancer? Yes. Type in any disease you want and you can start to see the correlation. Now with this company, LifeVantage, there's a lot of firsts. And this is a first in this industry. Type in Protandim, the name of this product. If you type in Protandim, you'll see 14 peer-reviewed studies that will pop up. This is how you start to validate what studies are being done that are peer-reviewed and validated by the medical industry and placed in the most credible medical journal, and see exactly what Protandim is addressing and what it is doing. Since the airing of that ABC primetime in 2005, we have 26 universities that were interested in studying Protandim, many of which were investigated or was funded on their own dime. These universities went to their administrators and they said there is a value to reducing oxidative stress in the diseases that we're studying, and we have found that there is a product that will cut that virtually in half. Let's see what that product will do against the disease processes. They put billions of dollars of research and years of time studying the pill Protandim, not the ingredients, but the pill Protandim against a different disease process. This is how you start to validate how real Protandim is. Here's the last challenge I give you. Type in NERV2 and put a disease next to it. I'll put cancer in just because that's the topic we're talking about. You type in NERV2, that's the technology of what Protandim has done. If you want, again, see the trend of where the medical industry is going, they are interested in studying stimulating genes in the body to see how that addresses the disease process. NERV2 with cancer is showing 815 studies, and that is growing at a very fast rate as well. This is the trend of where we sit in front of. This is how you validate the technology that we have with NERV2. Make no mistake, NERV2 is real. NERV2 is real, and we just simply have the ability to take this to marketplace and actually validate that we've actually activated NERV2. Our bottle says NERV2 Synergizer. We're prepared to brand this. Now, very powerful things occur to those people who get in front of this type of a technology. Just like any company, timing is critical. If you happen to position yourself at the right place at the right time, you can capture the growth of the new technology. Take a look at what happened to Microsoft in the 80s. Take a look at what happened to Apple in the last 8 years, 7 years. Apple came out of nowhere as a failing technology company, came out with the iCrave, the iPad, the iPods, the iTunes. When that came out, Apple became the strongest technology company. It went through the same type of growth pattern that Microsoft did back in the 80s and 90s. If you look at this growth chart that we sit in front of, as new technologies come out, they hit a point called critical mass. I call that branding. When a product that has value to the marketplace becomes branded, be prepared for the growth that follows. Companies will capture momentum, and they will capture the 80 to 85% of their growth right through this process. This is where people want to be a part of that technology, where they want that product. Following that momentum, companies will stabilize, and they'll grow on a 2 to 5% growth was their hope. You look at Microsoft, today they're probably more of a safe investment. But those who got in front of Microsoft captured the significant growth. This is where Warren Buffett, a very wise investor, says you must position yourself in front of a growth curve, not in the middle and not at the end, but the beginning. Why? Because of that capturing of that 80 to 85% growth. Investors take a look at this. They become the visionaries. They take foresight. They see the direction where things are going, and they get there first. Take a look at the medical journal. Start looking at Nerf 2. See how real that is. Just like antioxidants, people didn't know about them 20, 30 years ago. Look how big of that word antioxidant is today. That word antioxidant is worth billions of dollars. Companies are taking that and plastering it all over their packaging of their products. We are going to be the first to brand Nerf 2. When people think of Nerf 2, they'll think of LifeVantage. When people want to consume a Nerf 2 product, they'll be thinking of Protandim. We just simply happen to be sitting at the right place at the right time, and we see the trends of where they're going. So I ask the same question, or I ask a question, and that is, if you want to take advantage of an investment opportunity, would you like to grow your investment on an 80 to 85% growth trend or a 2 to 5% growth trend? And clearly the response would be for those that are visionaries. They would like to take advantage of the 80 to 85% growth trend. Now, a couple of key things have to be in place to be able to have that type of growth, to really get to branding. Number one, you've got to have a company that is solid, that has the vision, that has the work ethic, that has the liquidity, that has the cash flow available to really do this. I want to show you some information about the company, but before I do that, I want to hit on a couple others. You must be positioned at the right place at the right time. We're clearly there. You have to have the trends in place. We've talked about the trends and where we sit with this. You have to have the right product. And we've talked about already what Protandim is, the product that we sit in front of. You have to have a good compensation in place. And that is a company that is willing to reward people for the efforts that they're engaged in. Whether you're an employee of the company or whether you're looking to be an investor of the company, you need to have a return on your investment. And you have to have systems. These are the bigger pictures of what you need to have in place in order to really capture that momentum. Not many companies and not many opportunities have all of those things lined up to really truly take advantage of. Many people hear these during stabilization. That's when they get involved in them. You just happen to be at the right place at the right time to hear about this before other people know about it. There simply is no exposure yet, or very little exposure, on Protandim and LifeVantage. And here's how you know if there's exposure. Go ask the question. Call up a couple of people that you know and ask them if they've ever heard of Nerf 2 technology. Chances are they haven't heard of it. So let me just give you some of the information behind the company. I think this is relevant information. I'm going to show you the annual report that the company releases out to the world. This is a publicly traded company, and this is some investor information. This is an annual report that you can get right off of LifeVantage's main website. I want to show you what transpired with this company. If you look at this graph here, this is going to show operating income. Now, with this showing operating income, this company was a retail company. It had product on the shelf at GNC, Rite Aid, and CVS. With it sitting on the shelf at GNC, it said on the bottle, reduces oxidative stress. Now, how many people do you think walk into a GNC trying to find a really good oxidative stress reducer? Not many people. They simply don't understand the value. We sat in front of this technology, and we were ahead of our own time. People were not educated on oxidative stress. We were seeing more and more of that research going on. Take a look at the trends in the medical journals. We just talked about this. There is a significant amount of research in oxidative stress. More and more people are being educated behind it. From 2003 to 2009, this company sat on the shelves of GNC, and consumers were simply not buying the product. In 2009, the visionary CEO, David Brown, came to the board of directors and said, we need to change our distribution model. We need to take this directly to the consumers. What's the most effective way to do that? Word of mouth advertising. We need to launch ourselves into a network marketing format to where we can go through word of mouth advertising. In 2009, it changed to network marketing, and I will tell you the company was nervous at first. The board of directors had their own skepticism to the industry network marketing. But when it went network marketing, amazing things started to happen. First, the technology was being exposed. People were being educated to the reality of oxidative stress. There was an interest with consumers to consume the products. And as a result, they saw some significant changes. What you're looking at is an operating income. Watch what happens over the course of just a couple of years as the company starts to change the way it was doing business. I'm going to show you another sheet here. This other sheet shows you what transpired in revenue as it launches into network marketing. You can see it wasn't doing all that well. First year in the network marketing, it actually does 2009, it does 11.5 million. 2010, almost 40 million. 2011, his fiscal year 2011, almost does a little over 126 million. We were projecting at the close of our fiscal year 2012 that it will go from 126 million to 300 million in sales. And you get to be the judge. Does network marketing work? We're here to say it does, and we're proud that we're in the industry of network marketing. This creates the opportunity for the average Joe like me that is prepared and interested in taking the ownership of their own life. This is some financials on the balance sheet. Take a look at the cash that it had available to it, to LifeVantage in 2010. Look at transpired by 2012. Assets, 3 million to almost 40 million in 2 years later. Liabilities, 18 million, and liabilities to 0. Long-term debt. Take a look at shareholder equity deficit. Almost 40 million up to 28 million positive. Significant things started to change. By sharing this message, we found that consumers love the product. 70% of the people signing up into this company are customers alone. They are not distributors. This is a graph showing the customer mix between distributors and customers. The light color is distributors, for 2011. The dark color is 2012. Active distributors, 16,000. 2012, September, it was announced that we had 46,000 distributors. I think we're pushing a little over 50,000 distributors. We simply do not have the distributors in place for us to hit that point of branding yet. But mark my words, we're moving at a very fast, alarming rate, and you just happen to be at the right place at the right time. You have the ability to capture this company and expose this information before it is fully exposed to the people that you know in your database. This is a very unique opportunity. Okay, let's get back to our presentation. We've just covered some of the dynamics of the company. We know the company now has cash flow. The company now has vision and direction. We're seeing the results of what's going on with this company. So now I'm going to talk about the compensation. With it being a network marketing, you have the ability to carve out a little piece of the pie. I want to get involved in this as quickly as possible. I wanted to learn what it took to be successful in network marketing. I come with 0 experience in network marketing, but I was prepared to be a student, and I was willing to learn what it took to really succeed at doing this. There's a breakdown of the compensation plan. If you look at the right side in blue, there's 6 ways that we get paid. I'm not going to cover all of them, but I'm going to cover a couple of them that I think are important for us to understand. First of all, the first 2 ways that we get paid are weekly bonuses. This is rewarding people for their efforts, and this is the ones that really need to make some money now. These are the people that have car payments, house payments, that need some extra money to just help cover the expenses and get a little bit ahead. If that is you, these weekly bonuses are powerful as you start to get engaged in building a business. The other 4 ways you get paid are monthly bonuses. I'm going to show you how to invest in the business and get a return on that investment. I want to make this very clear. You are not an employee of LifeVantage. You are an independent entrepreneur business owner. We are going to teach you how to build a very strong corporation and take full ownership of your own life. With that, you must invest into the business. The investment in this business is $630. In that investment, you will receive approximately $535 to $550 worth of product. You do have monthly operating expense to operate your business. The monthly operating expense, we call it personal volume, is $200. One of the things I like about this compensation plan is the company says that if you don't need $200 a month in product, Your customer volume will go towards your personal volume, and this is how it works. The cost of Protandem is $40. That's for a 30-day supply of Protandem. There's 30 pills in Protandem. It's 1 pill a day. If you are here hearing this information, and for whatever reason you're not interested in building a business, maybe you're happy in your job, maybe you're content where you're at, you can be a customer. It costs $40. For those of you that look at this and saying, you know what, I'm tired of my job, I'm tired of where I'm at in my life, I'm not making the money I want to make, I'm prepared to make a change, I want to do something different, I believe there's more for me to achieve, I want to build a retirement, I want the freedom to be able to enjoy time with my family or the people you care about, to take a look on exactly how you invest in this business and get your money back. First of all, as we identify our customers, in this example, I put on there 4 customers. Let's go find 4 customers. At $40 each, that's $160 worth of product. $160 of product will be applied to your personal volume of $200. You can now minimize your cost to operate your business. If you only need 1 bottle of Protandem, find 4 customers. If it's you and your spouse and you need 2 bottles of Protandem, find 3 customers. We can help cover that cost, but you can buy whatever product you need to buy. Okay? Now, what we're going to teach you how to do is get a return on your investment. This is how it works. You've invested $630. As we expose this information, you will find yourself somebody who, like you, wants to make a change in their life. They really, truly want to build themselves up a business that will give them the freedom of choice. Through this process, as you identify distributors, you will be paid $210. That's paid weekly. This is a weekly commission that's paid out to you. You enroll somebody today, next week you will be paid $210. You do that a second time, you get paid $210, and a third time, $210. And that is illustrated in the top left side of your sheet. The blue guy would be you. The small gray guys with 210 next to them would be the distributors you're bringing in the business. That returns you $630 for what I would call a return on your investment. That's your ROI. Again, you are a business owner learning the skills to build your own business. By the time you had identified and recruited 3 distributors to your business, the company sees you as a leader. As you developing as a leader, you bring in your 4th distributor, you're paid $260. You've got an increase in your commission. And any time moving forward that you recruit a distributor to your business, you will be paid $260 from that time forward. This is a unilevel compensation plan. You can go as wide as you choose you want to. All right. Now, from there, I want to talk about royalties. This is how you are paid out into your business. This is the royalty commissions that are paid back to you. This is the value of network marketing. This is the reason why. Royalties are paid on every bottle of Protandem and True Science that is purchased in your organization. And that is every month that product is being purchased, you are being paid. There is not a constant exchange of time and effort. If you went out and build yourself a dynasty of a business, and you have thousands of customers inside your organization, every bottle of Protandem sold, you will make a percentage on. As that organization is built, whether you choose to trade time to make money, it is not necessary at that moment. I have been raised under the concept and idea of always trading time for dollars. It's not about just always working hard. I know construction workers that work hard, very, very hard for their money. But just working hard alone does not create independent wealth. You need to start to think like an entrepreneur thinks and create the royalty income that this has to offer. I'm going to explain this to you and show you how this works. If you look at the middle graph, this is going to be a breakdown of royalty income. Remember the 5 people. We're going to use this as an example. You've got 3 people in that got your money back. You've identified 2 more people for a total of 5. Remember the auto shipment volume. That's the $200 of product that's being consumed by customers or you as a distributor if you needed $200 in product. There's $1,000 in volume. You get a 2% payout at that point. But this is a business of really teaching other people how to get a return on their investment. So we're going to help 5 people find their 5. You're now at 25. Same numbers apply. We're going to help 25 find their 5 for a total of 125. This does not happen overnight. This is not a get-rich-quick program. This is a program of developing entrepreneurial skills to build a business. And as you go through this process of finding 5 people, teaching them the skills that it takes for them to help find their 5 people, Now you have 25 and you help them find their 5 people for 125. This is what your royalty payout is. You're being paid out $2,250 of royalty income every single month. Again, the only way you make that money is if that product is being purchased every month. If they don't purchase the product, you don't get paid. The $2,250 plus the $250 and the $20, which is shown in this example, is now paying you $2,500 a month in royalties. That means at this point, maybe you choose that you don't have to trade time anymore. Maybe this helps get somebody away, your spouse away from a job, or you from a part-time job. Maybe this is the kind of income you need to make. $30,000 a year covers your expenses to operate your lifestyle. If that was the case, and it took you 2 years to really get to the point that I'm illustrating, on a part-time level, you're applying part-time effort to your business, and it took you 2 years to get to this point, would it be worth it if you knew you could count on that $2,500 a month coming in every single month? Well, my response was yes, 100%. It took me 10 years as a police officer to get to that point, and the second I walked away from being in law enforcement, I stopped getting paid. This is a royalty payout that will pay you month in and month out. If you want to see what the potential is in royalty commissions for people to represent this company and represent this product, finish filling in the blanks in that graph. As you finish filling in those blanks, you can see what the potential is. There is a lot of income. You get to set the pace on the value of what you get paid. I went 10 years in law enforcement. 5 of those years, I didn't get a pay increase. The state decided that there was not enough money in the budget, and I didn't get a pay increase. They told me time in and time out, be grateful you have a job. Be grateful you have a job. And grateful I was. But at the end of the day, cost of living kept going up. They decided what my worth was as a state trooper. This does not cap you. If you want to make more money, if you need to make more money, the opportunity is available to you to continue to build your business, to continue to engage in helping people achieve success. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is the next graph, which is a generational matching bonus. This is a very powerful bonus. Let me show you exactly how this works. Remember those 5 people that you brought into your business. These are the people that help you get your return on your investment. Yeah, well, these are also your family and friends. You want to help them achieve whatever they want to make to get their freedom, to really truly have freedom of choice. So in this example, follow me very closely. You have 5 distributors. Let's assume that each of those 5 distributors wanted to make this $2,500. That was a benchmark for everybody. Well, if each of those 5 was paid $2,500, that would be a total of $12,000 being paid to them. LifeVantage, because you have helped them achieve what they wanted, they will give you a 10% match, and they will pay you a bonus of $1,250. If those same numbers apply, you now have 25 people in your organization as distributors, and they too want to make $2,500 a month. If $2,500 was being paid to each of those 25 distributors, that would be $62,000 being paid in income to them. You'll receive a 5% match on that, or $3,125. That's each and every month. But it doesn't stop there. You have 125 people. Same numbers apply. Assuming they want to make $2,500 a month, paid to each of those 125, there's over $300,000 of income being paid to them. You'll receive a 5% match on that, or $15,625. You can see the reward that LifeVantage is putting out there, the behavior they're striving for. And that is to develop and to teach people the skills they need to have to succeed at building a network marketing business. This is a very professional company. They are ethically sound. They are credible. Everything that we do is professional. We're going to teach people how to become the professional in this industry. By so doing, you'll be rewarded greatly for your efforts. That is paid monthly, those bonuses that you see there, and it doesn't stop there. It goes 2 more levels in. If you want to see what that potential is, finish filling in the blanks. Take 125, times that by 5, put that number in there, times that by the 2,500, and take 5% of it, you'll see what your payout is. This is a very powerful, powerful compensation plan. The last one I want to brush upon is this little earth here at the bottom of the screen. This is called the Elite Bonus Pool. This rewards people that become professionals in this industry. who learn what it takes to really build a $1 million organization. These are the people that have very strong $1 million corporations. And LifeVantage says that if you are committed to becoming a professional in this industry and with this company, they will reward you with profit sharing. They take 4% of the global sales each month, and this is gross global sales, not net profit, but gross sales each month. And they break this 4% and share it amongst the elite distributors in the company. Now, how do you know where the mark is for elite distributors? Our ranks are really simple, Pro 1 through Pro 10. When you hit a rank 7, you're considered an elite distributor, and that's based on total volume of sales in your organization. A rank 7 does about $100,000 a month in organizational sales. A rank 7 has learned what it takes to become a professional in the industry. They have a $1 million business. So Pro 7s, Pro 8s, Pro 9s, and Pro 10s are the elite ranks of the company. You will share, as you hit those ranks, 7, 8, 9, and 10, you will share in the 4% of the gross sales each month of the company globally. That means if you don't know anybody in Japan, you share in every bottle of Pro 10 sold in Japan when you hit those elite ranks. We are open in Australia. Every bottle of Pro 10 sold in Australia, you will make a percentage on. We're in Mexico. We just opened up in Hong Kong. And we're here in America, and we'll soon be moving into Canada. With that, every bottle of Pro 10 sold globally, you'll make a percentage on. This was a big deal for me. This was a benchmark for me. I saw this. I became thirsty for it. I saw the potential in it. I realized that this is how I was going to create my freedom. This is how I was going to have the time for my family. I believed in the company. I believed in the product. I believe this really does help people become better. If you are that type of person and are looking for solutions to your problems, if you're having a hard time with your finances, we will build you a business and help you through that process. We will not do it for you, but we will help you. For those of you that are looking for this may be the right avenue for you. Get with the person who invited you to hear this information. I want you to end with this one thought. We're now about 40 minutes or so into our presentation. I want to end with this one thought. Successful people work and operate in foresight versus hindsight. Successful people learn to operate in foresight versus hindsight. Understand the difference between the two. Hindsight is people who wish they would have done something. They see what's transpired, and they wish they would have acted, but they didn't. That's hindsight. Foresight is far different. Foresight is those visionaries. They're the people that see where everyone is going, but they simply get there first. They see the vision of where it's at. I challenge you to look at this information and take foresight. For those of you who are interested in making that change, you have a new company with a new technology. It is publicly traded and fully transparent. We have some factual things in place for you to validate what we sit in front of, and you have the opportunity to learn a system that we teach on how to become the entrepreneur, how to become the professional. So with that being said, you've got this information. Choose what category you're in. Number one, if it's not for you, communicate that to the person who shared this with you. Number two, you see the value of this product, and you want to consume the product immediately. Get back with the person who introduced this webinar to you and get on that product. You'll be grateful you did. This product will have an amazing experience for you. And thirdly, are the people that are the visionaries that have taken foresight. You see the direction of the trends of where this healthcare industry is headed. You see the trends of where this company is headed. And they're prepared to become an entrepreneur and want to learn what it takes to build a business. If that is you, get with the person who invited you to this webinar. They have a system that they can show you, and they can teach you what it takes on how to get started in this business. So with that being said, let's bring this webinar to a close. Thank you for taking the time to be in on this. Get back to the person who invited you to this and simply communicate what your intentions are. Have those expectations set. It takes courage to involve in this, to engage in this business. Those of you that are distributors, thanks for taking the time to be on here. I will stay on this line for a few minutes longer. For those of you that have questions, I'll go into answering those questions for you. So if you have a question, click on the Questions tab, type in your question, and I will answer that question for you. To the rest of you, thank you for being on the webinar. Thank you for taking your Tuesday evening, and have a great evening.